Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is February 19th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, we're doing all right. I gotta ask you, how are you doing? How are you doing after your Jupiter Links performance?
I mean, just a total debacle. I'm Mr. Giggles over here after that disaster. I'm getting these alarming facts about an individual in the Mexico Open field. I can't wait to share with our listeners. That just could be sort of a goofy one here tonight or Wednesday morning as you listen to this. I mean, it might be, Jupiter Links. First of all, complete indictment of the Boston operation that they lost to that. They lost to that Jupiter Links. They're hitting the distances 100 yards short. They don't know when to throw the hammer. They don't know how to call timeout. They don't. You know how the other teams all Monday, President's Day miracle, as I started calling it. This was the day after President's Day massacre. Just one step forward, two steps back today. They don't know when to call timeout. You just when you decide you're going to call timeout, you let the clock run. They called timeout with 20 seconds to go. So you get that 20 seconds plus the reset time, then the next 40. Everybody was doing that on Monday, letting it go to like 5, call timeout. Tiger or Kisner, I forget who, said 20 seconds, timeout. A complete embarrassment. They're down 7 to a decrepit New York golf club. They're showing us nothing. I think this might be the surest sign that this is kind of real competitive golf. Because let's face the facts. Tiger Woods has made 2 cuts in 2.5 years in professional golf. Kevin Kisner, not much better. Might have better health, but not much. Have you looked at the crosstabs on the kids lately?
Yes, I'm aware.
37 starts.
Maybe one of the issues of having him signed up like 2.5 years ago for this league.
I mean, this is the magic sticks, essentially. Just old, decrepit. It's like the celebrity softball game.
Don't compare Westy to Kisner. That's disrespectful.
It's like the celebrity basketball game or the celebrity softball game, an all-star fight. And you got like guys like Richard Jefferson out there, just still present, but not all-stars. But they're still there, kind of adding levity to All-Star Weekend. This is what the Jupiter Links are now doing to TGL. Kevin Kisner, in counting events on OWGR, he's 863 in the world. He's made 37 starts. He's missed 24 cuts of 37. 2 WDs. So now we're up to 26 of 37 MC or WD. He's made 11 cuts. His best finish was 31st at match play 2.5 years ago. Match play, 31 at match play means like you got in the bracket. That doesn't necessarily.
Not even in the bracket. That means that you didn't finish in.
Yeah.
I think it means you just didn't qualify.
So he had a T29 at Butterfield, and that's his best finish in counting events. So this is not to knock Kevin Kisner. He's just not, he's had a great career and had a ton of contentions and playoffs and wins and President's Cup and this, that, and the other. But they're old. He's a broadcaster now. Tiger, is having Tom Kim line up his putts for him, or aim point for him and ask for a read on a fake green. He didn't know where he was. He's hitting a wedge. Meanwhile, Kim and Kisner are just giggling over there. Call timeout. If they're sending the house and your quarterback has zero protection, you call timeout. You don't let him just hike the ball and have his head taken off. But Kisner and Tom Kim are just over there giggling. He's there with 60-degree wedge trying to hit it 199. What are we doing? Jupiter Links, a complete embarrassment. Now, this isn't to say it's over, but I don't like our chances getting to the postseason. This is radio caller Wednesday morning after a disaster, local radio, Jupiter Links. Tough one. And New York stinks. They're no better. Cam Smith, or Cam, whatever is Young, not Davis, not Smith, but Young, did not open his mouth. He was a mute. It's a television entertainment product. He was a mute. Like, I'm not even saying
we heard more from Pete Alonso.
We did.
We heard from Cam Young tonight.
I mean, it's
I don't think Cam Young has opened his mouth in two appearances. Jesus, I haven't heard him say a word. And the two, like, we need a proof of life next time he's in there, just from the sense of like, go up to him with a microphone and ask him a question, because I don't think he exists. I think he's literally a creative player. they didn't create the ability for him to talk.
He has, it's not, I wouldn't say he's putting a lot of enthusiasm into the proceedings, but hey, he hit some good shots. And this is what the simulator's been off there a little bit. It was on Monday. It's sending they overcorrected. So it started week 1, 2, 3, whatever. Is a lot of lefts. And then yesterday, everything, Patrick Cantlay is basically trying to draw the shit out of the ball, and it keeps. And JT's like, you drew that, and it's flaring right. So Sim has some issues, but it was fine. But I just think Kesner and Tiger have sort of like, they can't blame the Sim when they hit a shitty shot. They've not, like, they aren't allowed to do that in the way that, I don't know, Rory or others or Morikawa or Wyndham Clark might be able to. There's just a little less. You can't blame the Sim.
What about when Kisner just barely carried? It was like the second to last hole or the third, barely carried the bunker, and I was like, oh, that was a big carry by Kisner. And Ricky goes up and just the thing's sailing by Kisner's ball. It almost goes to the other bunker, which is like 30 yards up.
I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh, big ball from Kiz, because he like scooted right over the bunker. It hit I was like, oh, nice. He carried a lot there. And then like, Ricky, it was like a pro-am, just sending it right past the amateur partner. Look, I
got to ask a real analysis question here for you. You're a Jupe Links fan.
Yeah, I am a fan.
Can the team be competitive with Tiger on it?
Now, I mean, well, Kisner's just there goofing off. I don't like. They need Max Homa, obviously.
Where was he? Where was he when his team needed him?
I mean, you can't have Kisner and Tiger in the same lineup. That's like when you're going against a small ball lineup, and all of a sudden you got like Yao Ming and you got like 2 7-footers on the floor. You're just getting caught with your pants down. If you got Tiger and Kisner in the same lineup, it's just a mess. So yeah, they're struggling. This was not very good. This was not very good. Monday was great. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to watch a ton of it. I watched, I would say, like 85%, whether it was on my phone at my kids' practice or watch the first 2 in the afternoon. It was great. It was dramatic. It was fun. It felt like these guys were getting better at learning how this is not quite golf, but something like golf. And then you get tonight, and it's just guys goofing off and being terrible, and it feels a little less. I mean, the scoreboard doesn't make it interesting, and it didn't come off as interesting. We got Marty Smith is interviewing Jason Aldean and Pete Alonso, and like this is filling the time.
PJ, can we get real analysis of the question he asked Pete Alonso? He asked Pete Alonso why he signed. Meanwhile, the owner of the team's right behind.
Yep,
Pete Alonso.
Looking down upon this entire conversation.
Daggers. Yeah.
Marty Smith decided to ask Peter Alonso, who signed officially 2 days ago, right before after players had arrived for spring training, why did you decide to re-sign with the Mets? And Pete, great answer. Hoping to be a career Met, said the Mets presented the best opportunity for him. A winning culture. Completely disregard the $160 million he turned down last spring training. Completely disregard hiring Scott Boras as his agent. Completely disregard his worst season of his career last year. He did not want to sign this contract with the Mets, but here we are. So good line of questioning, Marty. Way to use context clues that this negotiation went over 6 months. Really went well for everybody involved.
He signed because he had to.
He signed because there was no one else.
You got Jeff O'Neill talking about golf.
McNeil.
McNeil.
How about this
O'Neill?
podcast? How about this podcast talking about Jeff McNeil's golf game before he gets asked the question? All of our astute listeners knew the answer that Jeff could play.
He was a stick.
Jeff's a stick.
That's right. That's right.
How do you feel? How do you feel about having Sabathia in the ownership group?
I mean, I felt bad for Brendan. Got a complete drive-by on the Hall of Fame plaque question for Marty.
That's a sensitive subject.
Just a complete drive-by.
The Indians/Guardians essentially being just a feeder system. You know, everybody's homegrown, and then they go play for bigger contracts. You should be wearing an Indians hat in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with
Ridiculous.
you. Ridiculous.
Anyways,
for Marty.
Anyways, yeah, it was. What did you think today, Andy? PJ and I did a live blog yesterday with very sundry of entries. We hit all. We had lots of screen gabs, lots of grabs, whatever. Lots of thoughts, takes all day yesterday on Monday. What'd you think? What'd you think of TGL Marathon Monday and Tuesday?
I gotta say, you know, I had family in town. We completely overbooked we went overzealous on the booking for a 4-year-old. So thus, like halfway through the planned festivities, we're driving home with the 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And I see all your Slack messages. And I'm like, I gotta go lock into TGL. And I locked into the last match and a half. Like I got there right at halftime. It was honestly the first utility of intermission for me, because I got in right at intermission, got the recap.
Intermission. Yeah.
Got the recap and was locked in for the rest of it. Yesterday was incredible. I like my overall takeaway today, and this I think more so than any other sport, a close match is so vitally important for TGL. Yeah. Because when these teams get down, there's no coming back.
Yes.
Because it's like kind of like you either have it or you don't have it. Golf is such a like have it or don't have it game. There is no like, okay, they've played like complete shit, but they're only down like, 2 scores. They could turn it around with like a fluke interception. I do think there should be some crazy thing that could just like completely flip a match on its head. Like a pick six. Like,
there needs
or a kick return. You could do nothing. I mean, the Bears, the 2006 Bears are a great example of this. They did nothing all year offensively, but their defense scored touchdowns. Their special teams scored touchdowns. I mean, this is what Jupiter Links needs. I will also say after tonight, I'm fairly confident.
That's what we need to find out.
Fairly confident.
Who is the Devin Hester of TGL? That's what we're begging for.
After tonight, I am fairly certain that the Jupe Links victory over the Bullfrogs will go down as the best win of the year.
It's like Northern Illinois beating Notre Dame or something like that early in the season.
This team, they stink. Boston, they're so bad.
Terrible. They don't have the distance. They don't have they have nothing going for it. And then you got Tom Kim.
I knew it was going to be bad when Tiger said, we got to have TK carry us in the pregame.
How about
right? Like, that's a tough place to be as an organization.
Did you like Tom Sim, the Matt Berry appointed nickname after he listed off, try that in a small town, dirt road? Matt Berry getting a little loose. He made a sexual innuendo joke on Monday, a very like unambiguous sexual innuendo joke. He was just letting it rip. I don't know.
Can I point out that Marty Smith called Shane Lowry the Scotty Scheffler of screen golf
multiple times on dozens of occasions, I would say.
Matt Berry said he had a wide receiver build when he walked in with a Michael Crabtree. We're used to Brooks as a linebacker. I just didn't see Shane Lowry as a wideout. He looks like a wideout.
I mean, he could have gone so many. He could have said guard. I would have accepted a guard.
Yeah.
Would have accepted a deep tackle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe even a tight end. I could have gotten on board with a tight end. Fullback.
It's kind of short. Fullback, I could do. Fullback, he's can't.
I mean, running back. I saw a picture of Ron Dane the other day. He could have said running back, but wide
Mark
receiver
Ingram or something. Yeah,
it's pretty much the one position he couldn't have said.
My favorite Marty Smith moment from the weekend, or the 2-day
extravaganza.
Bonanza. Yeah, bonanza, whatever you want, the President's Day miracle or whatever. Was when he asked Patrick Cantlay, who he's now calling not the Scotty Scheffler of screen golf. He's calling Patrick Cantlay the Bill Belichick of golf. He got this, like, he said it like 4 times, and like Cantlay, to his credit, just stared back at him like, what do you want me to do with this? Yes, I am. I don't like. He started calling this after he said, "What a great clutch putt! So clutch. How integral or important was it to make that putt?" Well, I mean, what is Patrick Cantlay supposed to say to that? What is he supposed to give you, like 4 minutes of just incredible monologue on that? You said it's a clutch putt. How important was the putt? He goes, it was good. I'm glad I made it. Oh, you're Bill Belichick.
He sometimes doesn't even ask a question.
No. I mean,
like sometimes he just like talks, and then the person like doesn't know what to say back, and they answer with something.
I think they're all getting used to it. It's hard. I thought Monday was better. Like they were great, more or less. The broadcast presentation, they were getting quick into like holes and what needed to happen and where things were. One of the misses, I don't want to harp on the negative from Monday, but like real, like actual crazy interesting moment was Stafford when they threw the hammer too late, right? And Derek Stafford.
It seemed to happen again today.
The handout. Oh, how about Tom Kim being put in the corner? Go sit in the
corner.
corner.
That. I loved it. He was like, I was at a dress. Well, Tom, you're at a dress for a long time. So
we barked back at him like Joey Crawford going at, Jerk Nowitzki or something like that. But yeah, Stafford, like there's this moment of drama and they're going to replay. Did they throw the hammer too late? And like the broadcast just went to like a Marty Smith interview with Min Woolley. And it's like, well, let's dig into this. What's going on? Are they went upstairs? And so, but otherwise, I mean, PJ, where were you on Monday?
We had 1 5-second replay that was not in slow motion, was not like zoomed in on the throwing of the hammer at all. This was like the first like real rules controversy. Mark Russell got brought in for the first time like ever, just an acknowledgement of his existence, and completely blew over it. I thought Monday was great. I had a lot of fun. I was going to watch all day just because I had nothing else better to do, but I thought it was great. I enjoyed that there were 3 close matches. And on the broadcast part, my favorite part of the broadcast on Monday was when, and I guess you can only do this if there's a doubleheader or if there's the opportunity for this, but when Matt Berry had Wyndham in the booth for the end of that first match, and he had somebody to actually play off, and Wyndham was doing like highlights from earlier in the match and actually talking about like what it's like to hit into the screen and actually using golf terms. Like that was the first time where I felt that the broadcast was actually really elevated. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It seems like, I think like Monday was awesome because the action was awesome, right?
Yes.
And it shows like the potential of what it can do. Like I think why this is so action dependent is because the broadcast is pretty bad, and there needs to be some golf IQ. And I think like it doesn't need to be overwhelming golf IQ. It just they have to have something. They have to have somebody up there that can like acknowledge when something's good or bad. Because right now everything is just amazing.
I think they got, I mean, they're trying to mix and match, like this is for young kids. It's not for golf, sickos or, but they kind of got to win that audience, that latter audience too. And that's why they go to interview, the punter or the first baseman or whoever.
The punter was incredible.
Braden Mann, jet legend. Braden Mann.
I didn't even know who the Eagles punter was.
Yeah. I didn't either. They just played the Super Bowl. I had but you had the chip off overtime, right? It was awesome, right?
Mhm.
Was it Fleetwood made it right for LA
Yep.
in the middle
Yeah,
in the
he
middle
holed
of
out.
the three, and then Cantlay stuffed one.
Which, by the way, I know a lot of people have said this. If you hole out from 40 yards, that's the win. That's
It
like
should-
the
yeah.
magic bullet.
That's
Like,
fair.
that you should not have to go on after that.
I mean, JT holding out to go to OT. I thought JT was awesome. JT cared. Justin Rose cared so much. Cantlay combination with JT and Billy Ho. Like those guys are really, they're the opposite of, it felt like Kisner essentially in every way. Like they're grinding over strategy and shots and where to here's the the top of the ridge and the green if you need it as a visual aid. Like they were locked in. Same goes for the LA and the Bay. Rose is just, I don't know if it's all genuine. It seems like it. Rose is like incredible. Wyndham is just talking shit, whether he intends to or not. Essentially, he's commenting on every other.
Wyndham is great.
Wyndham
Wyndham is
is-
really good.
He's
Well,
a big winner
Lucas
of this.
is putting. We will throw the flag. Lucas is like right to Lucas's face, and Glover did miss it. We will throw the hammer. So that was a 6-5. Glover chipped in, other chip it. Like that was great. And then it ends with Wyndham making eagle in another 5-4. It was great Monday. Today was not that.
Well,
any
you
other
you didn't even mention two elite teams duking it out in the nightcap. The highest level
I just
of
said
golf
Wyndham
that we
eagle.
the
Yeah,
highest level of golf that we've seen.
Were you impressed with Hideki?
Hideki was incredible.
Yeah.
He was a natural. I do think there is like an aspect of this that like the guys are starting to figure out how to play.
Yeah,
Which is
I agree.
elevating the level of play, like they're figuring
Yeah.
out like actually how to read greens, like how to hit putts, all that stuff, how to chip. You're just seeing less like little like screw ups, right?
I think that in turn, like it's like a cyclical, it feeds itself into being more competitive, right? As they get better at it, they're more inclined to be engaged in it, right? And more competitive at it. And it all kind of feeds into itself. And we saw that all day Monday. I love like the chip-ins are real, or the chipping in general is a real kind of dramatic thing. And they're much, much better. We saw it a little bit even Monday night. It's just, I don't know what we do with this Jupiter Links team right now. There's relegation.
They keep being featured in like because it's Tiger. They're like the solo Tuesday again next week. It's a disaster. They gotta flex them out of the Tuesday primetime slot. They gotta put them into the 5 p.m. Get them out of there.
Prime time. Bay has to be in prime time at this point. It's like that Lakers season when they had Dwight Howard and Steve Nash and Karl, like all the studs, and they were terrible. They had 100 to TNT games. They just started moving them off.
Hey, do you want to get to the first ever SGS TGL power rankings?
I would love to do that. I must note before you get to that, the legit standings, catastrophe for the investments of tomorrow sports. Because right now, it's the two primary investors are out of the playoffs, Boston and Jupiter Links, Rory and Tiger. But those are just the standings. You are bringing
that's the standings.
Power
this
rankings,
is
the
the
more
power
predictive
rankings.
Gambling model that you got a lot of numbers, I'm sure.
The model.
This is true. This is all based off. This is a model. This is the real thing. The Data Golf doesn't have shit on these power rankings. There's no bias. This is just a strict model plus expert eye test. I pulled a number of
power rankings. Oh, you got graphics for the live show.
Yeah, there's graphics. We're gonna go 6-1. At number 6, I've got your stinky organization, Jupiter Links. This is not a competitive team. I'm questioning coaching. The fact that Homa was on the bench tonight.
Where do we go from here?
I think the real question is like, can you rebuild around with Tiger? I don't think you can. I think this franchise is destined for the cellar.
Luke Clinton just won a college tournament. He's still hot. Top draft pick.
Give him a little equity in the TGL. Okay.
I think the Tank is going to sign a lucrative offseason contract.
I think the Tank has to be the #1 free agent in the league.
Oh my God. What about? I mean, you have to expand. Isn't there just a Dallas team waiting right there with Spieth and Scheffler?
Well, maybe we'll do expansion.
Okay,
Most
all right.
likely expansion. I think.
Okay.
You know, I don't think you can overlook Vegas. Vegas with all the gambling tie-ins seems like a
gambling everywhere
spot.
now, right? I mean,
Well, it's not even approved in New York. It hasn't even passed the board because they're changing the rules.
Oh, yeah. I see
The fine state of New York's not letting its citizens bet on a league that changes the rules mid-season.
One last serious Tiger point. His mom did pass away, and he doesn't play competitive golf really anymore at all. And I think with justifiably so, this is probably one of the last places you want to be tonight in public. Probably never envisioned himself 2 years ago when he was hurt, still having to play golf in public, but not being able to play tour events. And just wanted to add that serious point. This was a tough.
I think that's a very good serious point, and one we should highlight that you made in case anybody yells at us after listening to the first 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, it's probably not. Yeah, he doesn't want to be out there maybe necessarily tonight at least. Okay.
All right, Jupiter Links. Number 5, PJ's New York Golf Club. Even though they had a dominant performance today, it was like taking candy from a baby.
I would like to note that the number 2 player in the world has not played since January 7th for this team.
It's kind of crazy.
I would just like to say.
Who's doing these rankings? Dan Shaughnessy? How do you have New York behind? You know who? All right, what do we got next?
Number 4. Who do we got number 4?
Oh my
LA
God.
Golf Club.
What is
number
what
4?
Is this
I just made the graphic. I was told what to put on the graphic. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
LA Golf Club number 4. I just think this is more smoke. This is smoke and mirrors. Rosie's gonna flame out. You know, we've seen it numerous times in majors in the twilight of his career. Where this is 2019 Pebble, where it's smoke and mirrors. And then all of a sudden, a bad weekend's coming. I think LA Golf Club, they got punched in the mouth yesterday. This is the start of their demise. Number 3.
It's like Desmond Howard will only pick Michigan, never picks Ohio State on College game day.
Number 3, Atlanta Drive.
Oh, come on.
This is a high quality organization. They've gotten a lot out of the talent that they have on the roster. I'm really impressed. Preseason rankings, I think Drive culture, we would have been worried about their will to compete. I've been impressed by the Drive.
I am too. I like the Drive, actually. They might be on paper, my favorite team.
I think JT, getting some mojo back, getting back in the top 10 of the world. Listen, this is a strong number 3. Number 2 is the Boston Ball Frogs.
They're currently in last place in the standings.
Some could say Homer. Not me, just some.
This entire exercise null and void. Everything else is delegitimized by this ranking.
I think we saw in the nightcap last night. Those were the 2 best teams in the league. Nobody, I'll tell you, no. Nobody wants to see the Ball Frogs in the playoffs. All right, nobody.
Get there. They're in last. They better
That's
get on
the team
their horse.
Nobody wants to see in the playoffs is the Ball Frogs.
Disgusting.
And then number 1, my hometown team, not the team I root for, my hometown team, the Bay Golf Club. I'll tell you what, the neighbors are going crazy. This is easing the pain of a disappointing Warriors season, disappointing 49ers run.
Sure.
The Bay's got their new dominant team.
God, they were amazing to watch. I mean, and it's you don't even know who to take out. You're taking Minwoo Lee, putting him on the bench. You got to keep Luddy in there. Wyndham's a stud. Shane Lowry, they are really stout, top to bottom. I do love the Bay. With Wyndham's SoFi tie-in, you could see him it means so much to win the SoFi Cup. He's got to shovel some of that bullshit, probably because they're a sponsor. I think they're kind of on the fast track to the title. But who knows? This is a very unserious exercise. When
I think
Boston,
the people in the live comments are very upset about the power.
well,
rankings.
yeah, you're making a mockery.
I didn't make a mockery.
You're mocking my screen golf league.
This is what the model spit out.
I spent 8 hours watching this yesterday, and I don't appreciate you mocking my screen golf league with these schmockery standings or power rankings, as you say. You might be right that you don't want to play the ball frogs now.
Nobody wants to see Hideki, Rory, and Keegan in the playoffs.
I mean, Keegan's been kind of stinky. He's had his moments. He made some plays.
He's a splash player.
He loses holes early, and that's how they get in the hole every time. We duffed one in the bunker. Yes, I don't know.
We've got our horse, and it's Hideki. We've got our killer.
You look good. Hey, any real kind of other observations? I would like to say, Cameron pointed this out in our Slack. We heard it quite a bit tonight from Tiger and Kiz. Are the TGL bunkers more penal than the tour bunkers? Is it an actual hazard?
Absolutely.
It's kind of incredible. Then the pure white sand that's built to conformity of whatever the PGA Tour Championship management. There's a real penalty for going in the bunkers on the.
It's kind of like amazing how hard the bunkers are. Like they were on a downslope. What was it? Tiger was on the downslope, and they immediately called it out. They're like, "Oh no, it's on the downslope."
Toast. Yeah. Toast.
What do you think about the new hammer rules?
It's fine. It's good. I mean, you needed to break free from the sort of staring contest they had of the preceding two matches, where if you get up, you're disincentivized to throw it. Like, why add more volatility, more stakes? And you needed to, make the hammer available to the team that's trailing, right? And I think it's fine. It was just. I mean, Wyndham Clark's out of his mind with the hammer. He's got to settle down. He's going to get bit right now. He's like a guy throwing it all over the field, and they're dropping right in the basket right now. But he's going to get picked off here with the way he's taking on the risk.
It seems like some people don't understand how to use the hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure. Yes. There were several times Jupe should have used it tonight to try and get back in, and they're just lollygagging around. Yeah.
After they hit it, I forgot where it was, but they hit it. They had such a huge advantage. It was like, use the hammer, or not a huge advantage, like a slight advantage. Yeah. It was one of the holes they won. It was after the Tom Sim win.
Yeah.
It was the 10th. He was like, use the hammer. I don't know. It's interesting. I think the hammer is best used at slight advantages, not because if you use it, a lot of them are using it when they're going to win the hole already, and then they use the hammer, and the people are like, "Well, we're going to lose this hole either way, so yeah, take it." And they get rid of it. It's like you want to use it where you have a little bit of an advantage. And then you have the potential, but you're likely not going to lose the hole.
God, they have 2 matches next Friday.
Yeah, there's 3.
Oh my God!
This live show's gonna just continue. I didn't know we were signing up to do TGL live shows.
My wife is like, again with the late Tuesday night podcasting. I think honestly, getting the yuck of this Jupiter match off, I really am moderately excited. Moderately.
We're gonna have to watch Jupiter on next Tuesday again.
Well, Boston, Atlanta's before that. I think there's some.
That's on Monday.
Yeah, so I'm excited for the next one, the next Monday. Boston,
should we do
Atlanta.
the live show after Monday?
No, we should have done it last.
Should we flex it out? Should we flex out?
We should have done it last night.
Jupe Links out of the.
I mean, you got the undercurrent of PGA Tour policy board members, Rory gone, Cantlay there. Could have a little fun. Cantlay and JT are very competitive. Maybe Cantlay doesn't play. Who knows what the lineup is? But I think
Cantlay's playing. Cantlay's not going to miss a showdown with Rory.
God, he started the day yesterday. He hit one 30 yards over the green. He said he hit an absolute unambiguous draw that flared right into the water. And then hit another one that went 20 yards right of his target. And the restraint it took him to Same with JT. That like they've mastered sort of the face that they wear it on their face. That what the hell is that? And but yes, they battled. They got a 1-1 win. All right.
I think a live team would be pretty legit.
In the TGL,
Bryson, Rom. Maybe you split up Rom and Bryson.
I mean, I think Monday was proof of something. It can be an exciting competitive thing, and the hammer makes it more fun. I don't know if it's the future or it's going to be around any longer than I thought it was the day before, but it was really fun, and I thought it was going to be just background noise for 8 hours. So
that I think Monday was like a legit. I think it's something that you could say like we have proof of concept.
I think so. I think that's right. They are just spending so much freaking money, though. They're spending so much money to do that. To be, I think we have proof of concept. I don't want to lose sight of how much freaking money.
They have so many sponsors, though. I mean,
they do.
They get roll out and we should talk.
Speaking of sponsors, we got our own in Good Walk Coffee. I came out a little hot. I had a late coffee here tonight to get revved up to watch my.
Took a good walk.
They didn't reciprocate Jupe Links. I was all fired up. They didn't. They took the wind out of my sails. So I poured a little extra of my Good Walk coffee. We have the shotgun start blend and the fried egg blend. That's more of a light to medium roast. You can get it at goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun to go peruse the selections, read up more. Subscribe to the blend. A portion of your subscription supports our work, gets us out on the road. We got some upcoming trips here this year, Andy. More than we planned. We may be going to check out a gold standard or two. Let's go in search of a long lost gold boy here in the next month. Our first on the road SGS coming. Sooner than we
snorkel around the island green looking for gold boy.
I'm going to go get my own free tournament used hazard water. I'm not paying. I'm going off the books. I'm going to collect my own tournament used hazard water. But yes, Good Walk subscription helps us, supports the work of the fried egg, and gets you something you will use every day. Make that coffee, grind it up, brew it every morning, and you're supporting our work. We spend a lot of time trying to pick the right blends. You can go to goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Use the code SGS. It gives you 20% off your entire order, the whole deal. 20% off using the code SGS. And if you subscribe, you get 10% off every shipment. So that first time it's 30% using the code SGS. That's goodwalkcoffee.com/shotgun. Promo code is SGS. All right. Are we done with TGL? You have anything else you'd like to add about the Tomorrow
done.
Golf League? Okay.
I'm done. The last point again.
Yeah.
Monday was legitimately fun.
Okay. I agree. We had a great live blog. Read all our thoughts there. Some funny jokes and other stuff going on. It is not a good week in golf. I would say, we had.
What are you talking about? Golf already won. They had the P-Day extravaganza.
All right. I meant coming up this coming weekend. We had a great, Genesis, Neiman wins. Monday was really fun. Coming this week, we have the Magical Kenya Open and the Mexico Open at Vidanta Vallarta.
Event of the week, Magical Kenya Open.
Of course. Why would it be anything else?
6 years running event of the week.
Is that right?
And it might have gotten I think it didn't run
I'm
COVID
sure
year.
during the COVID. That would make sense.
Yeah. So every year it's been hosted because I think it was a new event came online to the event of the week.
All right, let's begin with the Mexico Open at Vidanta World, which it's now called.
That's what it's called, Vidanta World?
Vidanta World. It's not Disney World, Vidanta World. They must have added some new rides or new course, and now it's just Vidanta World.
Trying to challenge Century World as having the best golf course with a company world name.
This is on Golf Channel 4 to 7, and then
I think we should build a golf course and call it Fried Egg World.
I would love that. We could absolutely do that. With statues of Rory Sabatini out there in the middle of the course, whatever you want. 1 to 3 on Saturday, 3 to 6 on NBC on the weekends. NBC's back. CBS gone. NBC back. That is the Mexico Open at Vidanta. It is not Not a great field, not a great event. The course is just a bomber's paradise, wider fairways. Basically, I was reading several course previews from our friends in the gambling community. One of which I want to make sure I'm citing this correctly. The Roto Baller. I enjoyed this write-up. The lack of true obstacles dissuading players from pulling drivers off every tee box is further pronounced because 7 of 9 par 4s around Vidanta Vallarta measure over 440, and 5 of 9 measure over 475. Add in 4 par 5s, and there aren't a ton of mitigating factors in place to perturb potential bomb and gouge tactics. So wide fairways, the only defense is quote-unquote length, which we know is not a defense. So guys just hammer away on every par 4 and every par 5. And the winners have been Rahm, Finau, and Jake Knapp, I think, in the 3 preceding years here. Just a little bit more about Vidanta Vallarta. It was awarded Renovation of the Year by Golf Inc. magazine in 2022. Now, what are the metrics?
Golf Inc. magazine?
Golf Inc. magazine. I don't know. In 22. What are the metrics for a Renovation of the Year? What do they do? You put in good irrigation? What do we do with that? You rebuilt that bunker nice and tidy? Like, how are we judging Renovation of the Year? It seems like kind of just a who paid you the most, who got in your inbox the most with the biggest PR push or boondoggle offer. Renovation of the Year just sounds like a preposterous award on its face. But Vidanta Vallarta won it nonetheless. Greg Norman designed the golf course. It's got wall-to-wall paspalum along the Mecca River, has the largest, longest suspension, as we've noted, golf course suspension bridge connecting, I forget what it is, like the resort to the golf course, which you just ride over. It's the longest.
Didn't they do something with Ortiz driving over the suspension bridge the first year of it?
Like a time lapse or something like that yeah, maybe. Could be. That's your Mexico Open snippet. Do you want to do in-out alternate? I told you prepared a little bit.
Somebody said that I'm not gonna, unlike the tour, I'm not gonna dilute the in-out alternate brand.
Okay.
Was not worth doing it. You know, this is a good field. It's not a great, like, you don't have stars. But from like top to bottom, number 126 from last year's FedEx Cup is an alternate in this tournament.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the sponsors exemptions may have some questionable choices.
I didn't do my normal field research, so you're gonna have to. I didn't want to look at the field because I thought you were doing in-out alternate. What do we got for sponsors?
I mean, it's just what you usually get when you have like an international event like the Mexico Open. So you have like a lot of like
Esteban Toledo.
Yeah, you have and you just have guys that wouldn't normally be, but like the field is effectively like PGA Tour members and recent Korn Ferry graduates, and I think all the Q School guys got in except for Springer. I think Hayden Springer might be the first alternate.
I think he Monday Q'd too. I think if I'm not mistaken,
he's in. Yeah,
he's in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad field. The other people that got in there is the Ballester Barrio, and they also Blades Brown is in the field too. So you get Blades Brown playing again.
Can I spotlight one that had me giggling as we came on the air? A sponsors exemption.
Is it Jesse Dromer?
No. Vince Covello, the Italian stallion out of Philadelphia. Do you know how he's playing in the field?
No.
It's a KFT medical category.
Oh, God.
He's in off a KFT, top finishers from KFT Medical. His last PGA Tour start, Andy, was 5 years ago at the 2020 Wyndham, was his last PGA Tour start. His last made cut on the PGA Tour was the 2019 Greenbrier T47. 6 years ago. He hasn't made a cut on the PGA Tour since 2019, which would scan if his last start hasn't been 2020.
Do you think this got expanded because of the COVID?
He finished top 40. He finished T45 on the minor league golf tour in December. So let's give him
T45
on the MLGT in December. confirmed that he has made only one cut his entire PGA Tour career. Vince Cavello made one cut. He's made $350K in his KFT career in 100 starts. Made 100 starts, $350K, won with the win. With the win, in 100 starts, he's made $350K on the KFT. Got a great bio. He's got some real personality. In his bio, he says he will never forget. This is insane. He will never forget riding around inside the ropes with the assistant captain at the 2004 Ryder Cup. That's just his nugget. Just riding around inside the ropes at the 04 Ryder Cup. What a random deal. He's an Eagles fan, and his motto is, you only live once and nothing matters. Not really. I wouldn't say that's a little nihilistic, if you ask me. You only live once, nothing matters. Yeah. Has not made a cut of the PGA Tour since 2019. He's made one PGA Tour cut his entire career. So he's in the field, Vince Cavello. But 126 is not, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, Zach Blair's not. Bonafide PGA Tour player, Zach Blair.
Interesting. So, anyways, that's Cavello corner. Notables in the field are Charlie Hoffman, Nikolai Højgaard, Rasmus Højgaard, Steven Jaeger, Jake Knapp.
How about Charlie Hoffman getting first notable?
I mean, the Højgaards are just gonna bomb away. Steven Jaeger, Jake Knapp, Frank Molinari getting notable, Aaron Rai, and Eric Van Rooyen. Do you have a one and done pick for the Mexico Open? A chance
let's
to
bring PJ in, our sharp.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
Gambling, hammer, lock, fade.
Who are you hammering?
FRL.
I listened to a great podcast last week with Trevor Immelman. He was talking this guy up. I'm very excited about him. Taking King Burley Boy, going with Pot Guider.
I was thinking about it. I just don't think he can keep the ball on the I think he can keep
there's nowhere to go.
I don't think he can manage his game well enough. Like he's a guy that could go from the lead to T48 in in a split second, he feels like.
I'm riding with it. Vibes only. This is a vibes play for Mexico.
Now, this is where you've seen some of the bigger burly, international players. Sammy Valimaki last year was rumbling and stumbling around these parts, wailing away. Yeah. Just sending it. All right. I like that. The pot geeter. I'm going to go with another South African. Has done well in Mexico. I'm going with Eric Van Rooyen, who has a signature shoe. Andy wears it every now and then. Eric Van Rooyen is my one and done pick for Mexico Open. Andy, do you have a one and done?
Yeah.
Who's your hammer lock?
I was looking at Batia, but I decided to pass. He's the best player in the field. I generally don't like going with guys that are going around courses for the first time. I feel like they're naturally at a disadvantage. That being said, I don't think there's a lot going on here, so I'm okay going with Rasmus Højgaard.
Yeah, good pick. Good pick.
He's 11th in driving distance so far on tour, and I think he's just going to launch it here. He's going to launch it around, and I think we continue the international domination of the PGA Tour.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, it really has been just a run. Vidanta World. Who can't get enough of Vidanta World? That'll be on NBC this week. We don't know who's in the booth. NBC.
Is it Kisner?
That's honestly what I was wondering.
Would they take it?
Is he playing?
It would take him out maybe of
he's not in the field, is he? No, he's not in the field. Yeah, it should be Kisner. Who knows? All right, let's jump to the magical Kenya Open on the DP World Tour. This is at Muthiaga Country Club in Nairobi, Kenya. Purse is only $2.5 million. Defending champ is DVD himself, Darius Von Driel. Notables in the field. The DVD.
Or should we call him the Blu-ray?
The disc man. Oh, what a dumb bit. DVD. All right. Notables in the field. Eugenio Chikara. Is that right? Is he really in the field? I don't. Is he really? Yeah, I guess he is. Eugenio Chikara is a notable. So he's reemerging on the post-live, his post-live career. Houghton Lee, Troy Merritt is in Kenya. Matthias Schwab, Callum Tarrant, DVD, the Blu-ray, Ashton Wu, and Brandon Wu are your notables for the Kenya Open. My personal notable, I was just mucking around in the field, looking around. I mean, this is a horrendous field. It was to give you any idea. The betting odds, the favorite is Seabass Soderbergh, 22-1.
What?
Along with Jorge Campillo and Houghton Lee are your betting favorites.
Campillo.
Then after that, you have Angel Aurora, Juice Luton, Joe Dean, Jaden Shaper, Mean Joe Dean, John Perry, Guido Migliozzi.
Seems like a good spot for Joe Dean.
Wilco, Summer Teeth, he's 40-1, and Adrian Otagwe, the Valve Man, 35-1. These are among your favorites at the Magical Kenya Open. An interesting course. They were doing catnip with the one par 3 that has 2 greens, like two tiers. It's got a green, and you go up like 15 feet, and there's a second green, and there's bunkers and rough in between. And I guess they rotate for that one. Magical Kenya Open. Also in the field.
Remember when Wilco was gonna like change golf?
Yeah. Swinging it, 200 miles an hour, sending it 420 yards. Yes, that was a big thing. He was getting like sponsors exemptions because of the phenomenon of Wilco. Also the field is Danny List, who does the Torrey Genesis Open 1 week. He went from San Diego to Kenya. That's a big trip.
That's brutal.
It's a big trip. And then also Teddy T-Tack in the field. Slovakia's own. Inspired clearly by the boy from Bratislava, Roy Sabatini. On the DP World Tour, we have Teddy T-Tack or Tadias T-Tack. He's kind of done the reverse BFB. Born, I'm being told, late coming across my desk, as you would say. Wilco won last week on the Hotel Planner Tour. What is that? PJ, can you look up the Hotel Planner Tour? Wilco won last week. Tell me more about this Hotel Planner Tour. These people could just be yanking my chains. We're live, just feeding me garbage facts. But Teddy T-Tack, he did like the reverse.
It's the renamed Challenge Tour.
Oh,
Challenge Tour got bought out by Hotel Planner.
I can't believe he's on Challenge Tour.
Why?
I mean, I think it happened in COVID, so anything that happens in COVID feels like yesterday.
Yeah, but he was gonna be. Was he gonna be Ludwig? People thought he was like a Ludwig.
They were looking at him for P Cup consideration.
Teddy T-Tack did the reverse BFB. He kind of like, he's from Slovakia, then went to IMG academies and, was there in the swamp, went to UCF. But he's got a great bio. He's got his own website, multiple
Teddy
junior champion.
What a name.
Teddy T-Tack. Multiple junior champion of Slovakia in the stroke play in respective categories, as well as overall absolute category without age limit. He's a champion of Slovakia in the men's stroke play. As an amateur, he participated in most major boys junior men's golf tournaments around the world, and he claims he's played 166 courses in 236 tournaments. He's called on his website a Slovak pioneer in amateur tournaments. He's this pioneer. They make that in all bold. Slovak pioneer is what Teddy T-Tack is described as. And he is in the field at the Magical Kenya Open. One to keep an eye on this week. Let's continue on with our schedule for the week. And the LPGA, we have the Honda LPGA Thailand at the Siam Country Club, the Pattaya Old Course, not to be confused with the Old Course at St. Andrews, in Chonburi, Thailand. The purse is $1.7 million. Defending champion.
You think they have a lot of Pattaya trees?
What is that? You mean the
fruit?
Yeah, the fruit. It's not spelled the same. Pattaya, right?
It was the Pattaya Old Course.
No. The purse is $1.7 million. Defending champs Patty Tavatanakit in her home country. Notables in the field are Ayaka Foodaway, Jin Yun Ko, Hairan Ru, Patty T, Gino Titicool, Lilia Vu, and Ronnie Yin. This is overnight golf. What do we got? 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So 10 p.m. cocktail golf for those of us on the East Coast. That is your schedule for the week. Not a powerhouse week. You know, Kenya, Vidanta World,
how dare you
and
say
LPGA.
that when it's magical Kenya Open week, and we got the Blu-ray player defending.
News. Adam Scott, a lot of comments on reunification these days. Tiger said it's happening really soon. Adam Scott spoke after Genesis. He goes, I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't judge anyone, the members, if reunification happened and they weren't happy with how it happened. I hope they're not spending as much time talking about it as I have, but I wouldn't hold it against anybody if there were negative emotions attached to it. The thought of players coming back. I read like sort of his full comments. And he's sort of like, I'll be honest. I took a couple months to wrap my head around stuff. Within the first few weeks of coming on board, we're voting for minority shareholder to take equity in the tour. There aren't any easy answers to any of this stuff. Everyone is entitled to feel something about what's happened. The only thing I do know is we're not going to please everyone, but everyone should know I will stand behind these players' directors. They're trying to do the best thing for the entire membership. They've been faced with some tough decisions, tough calls, big consequences for whatever we vote on. So I'd say a pretty magnanimous position. He's like, people are entitled to feel that way. Not everyone's going to like it. There aren't any easy answers to any of this stuff. And you're allowed to feel how you want to feel. I would say that's like a little bit different than Rory said, telling people to get over it. Like, we got to do this. You just got to get over it. I'm not suggesting one's the right way or the wrong way, but, Rory doesn't have the official position anymore on the board, right? Whereas Scott still is there and probably needs to play the politician a little bit. But it seems like that's happening. There's a lot of comments about reunification. And, Adam Scott doesn't talk unless, he has some sort of sense of what he's talking about. And the way he's talking here is like, guys aren't going to be happy, which makes you think golf is coming back together soon, And so that's not what I imply.
I mean, there's no way any of this comes together and everybody's happy.
Sure. Sure.
Hopefully for once, golf fans are the ones that end up with the best end of the stick and be the happy ones.
I have a very fun proposal in tomorrow morning's Fried Egg newsletter about a reunification celebration. You can read that in the Fried Egg newsletter. I'll leave it there. Other news.
Is it by cracking open the used hazard water and taking a swig of it when it all comes together? TPC Sawgrass hazard water.
Other news. Sunday Red has its first endorsement deal with its athlete or an ambassador, whatever their name you want to call it. Sunday Red has signed Carl Phillips to fly the flag of Sunday Red. So another Stanford product, and he's going to wear Sunday Red. So big news, I guess, in the world of fashion.
Is it?
So I don't know. People are talking about it today. Sunday Red's blazing a trail. He's taking the torch from Tiger.
Finding the next Tiger.
Yeah, there you go. And then last but not least, I don't know how much I want to go into this, but did you see Charlie Woods is in the Sage Valley junior event? And some people are a little worked up about it.
That he shouldn't be in it?
Yeah.
Because it's such an elite event.
Very limited field, very elite event.
It's like one of the best junior events.
36 boys, 24 girls. I think Charlie's, somewhere in the 700s in like junior golf rankings. And, Brentley wrote it up on Golf Channel. And then like Sage Valley, like the event, like shut its website down. But like people, I think Brentley's seen the list and Charlie's on it. And I guess parents and some others are like kind of worked up about it. Like it'd be like inviting, someone way, way down, Kevin Kisner to the Masters or something. Like he's 800th in the world, but I don't know.
I think it's good for kids to learn that they have to overcome adversity, and life's not always fair at an early age.
Yeah, this is a thing that's going on, the Sage Valley Invitational. So I don't know. It's like, what do you want to say? I'm not going to criticize anyone involved, but that's a thing. There's controversy in junior golf. So
there always is controversy.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I think that does it. You got anything else? PJ, Andy, anything else you want to sign off with before we ride off?
We were supposed to hype up the Rainer Man gear. If you're into Seth Rayner, you know? Or
if you're not, and you're just into cool looking shit.
Yeah. Go to proshop.thefriedegg.com. But that's it.
We got great was it shirts and head covers? Great with swag head covers. The Rainer Man.
The Rainer Man.
Those are flying quickly. Check those out if you're listening this Wednesday. I don't know
somebody just Tom Caskey just put in the live chat the Bronny James exemption.
I don't. All right. No comment. All right. That does it. Check out the Rainer Man in the Pro Shop. We'll talk to you guys on Friday. Good Friday coming. We'll do another flashback. Maybe some golf advice. SGS golf advice. Talk to you then.